You looking
Hi,
for
I need to grab a notebook.
You're looking for a notebook, reminding me that I also need a notebook. So,
Excellent.
we prepare. I promise. I swear.
Do we?
I also need a pen. Oh my gosh, my pens are like stuck. Okay.
Sorry for the
I
flash there. Okay, everybody take me seriously, but the only pen I have available right now is this one.
I have a pen that's not working and available. Wait.
All right, Remington, you have to go out. I'm sorry, buddy. To everyone who has tuned in and is like, what is happening? I just had to kick my cat out of my office because he keeps eating a Target bag.
Amazing.
Yes, he's very bright.
This is not working. Okay, what are we doing today? Contemporary drama?
Let Remy stay. No! You'll hear him still. He'll just yell at me the entire time.
I don't even know where my dog is. She could be out running around, lost. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's sad. I at least know where my cat is.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
That's even worse. Okay. Guys, we're talking about contemporary romance, or contemporary drama.
Oh my God.
Not romance!
We're not doing romance this week, no.
Drama.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been a week. Oh.
For anyone who watched last week's show, and I spent 99.9% of it wrapped in a blanket,
Sure
I am still a little ill.
And for those people asking me, yes, it is going to get uploaded to YouTube, you guys. Both Meg and I have been sick for the past week, so we have just not really been 100% on the ball here.
No, neither of us have.
On Wednesday, when we were supposed to meet, we had the best intentions because we were both homesick. And so we're like, oh, we'll just sleep in and then we'll meet later. And halfway through the day, I texted Meg and I'm like, dude, I don't think either of us are actually up to meeting. Can we just postpone this?
Oh, it was bad. And then we had to have an impromptu meet on what was it, Friday? I was like, hey, I have time.
Rest for work, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, Meg.
It's like to pencil you in. Yeah. This smile and this is makeup. This is makeup.
Hours of makeup. Oh my gosh. And then I don't know, I hurt my jaw from being sick. I think I was just clenching at night because I was feeling well and stuff. And now it hurts to smile and stuff. So I feel like I have this weird lopsided smile whenever I haven't been moving my mouth for a little bit. It gets all hey. So,
it's beautiful.
Beautiful show. My nose is still a little bit stuffed, but I think it's just unstuffed enough that you can't tell. It works out.
Oh my goodness. This Saturday episode is clutch because I haven't had a 3-hour break between games today.
Oh yeah, you're doing games today.
That's awesome, and I'm glad that you're still able to make it. Yeah, we had to kind of adapt and overcome this week.
Yeah, I'm marrying someone tomorrow. Reverend Elle over here.
Yeah, specify. You're not getting married to someone.
No, I'm not getting married. I am marrying someone.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
I'm just getting married tomorrow, guys. No biggie.
Yeah.
No, I am marrying someone. I am marrying my friend who's been my friend since we were 5 years old, and so she asked
I'm not threatened.
Even though, she's been in my life the whole time that we've been friends, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure the words you said to me were, it's you, it's always been you. Were those just lies?
Remember when we were playing Among Us and I was so focused on playing and I was trying to say that, but it came out it's you, it's always been you. It was so monotone and
all I remember, seriously, all I remember about playing Among Us with you guys is that Craig and I were like vibing pretty hard, and you were like, guys, I have a problem. Why am I red? We were like, that's sus. You're like, what do I do? You're like, what? You want us to help you kill us? It's not the point of the game. But we're both too Midwestern to say no, so we helped you.
Oh,
yeah, like the lobster. No.
Then Megan had the game of our lives, and I had no way to document.
I know, dude, that was the best. We were like so in sync. Like Elle, for people watching, Elle had no idea that Craig and I got imposter together. And we were all on voice chat together, and we were trying to teach Elle how to play. And Craig and I somehow had this private conversation while talking to Elle without her ever knowing that we went around and killed like the whole crew. It was great. Like it was the best game ever.
Yeah, I remember.
And Elle sucks. I'm sorry. I love you.
Ow.
Play with us more.
I just feel threatened about tomorrow. Maybe I won't come back.
No, play with us. Who wants to play Among Us? Does anyone want to have a So You Want to Among Us night? We can all just play.
I'd be down for that.
Okay, good God. You want to get started? We've talked these people's ears off.
Oh, totally. Oh, man. Okay. I have to go up because I am really behind in what I'm doing here. Okay, guys. Hey.
The show is not scripted.
Not scripted. Okay. Welcome back to So You Wanna, a show for writers by writers. We started the show to give authors a place to chat, hang out, and just generally be. The world needs more books. It needs your books. Let us help you get them out there. I'm Elle, and I am so dramatic in real life that I don't need to write a drama. Just be friends with me. I'm also the author of the contemporary romance For the Love of Art. And this week, I dropped a novella, a holiday novella called Clargling Christmas. So I brought back some of your favorite Clargling characters to celebrate Christmas with. And yes, you did hear that right. It's a novella. It's not a full-length novel, so it's just that perfect light Christmas read that you need this year and this close to Christmas. Maybe you're just feeling a novella after you've already checked out the holiday affair. Looking at you, Craig. And I also have 2 books of poetry. They are Elle and Under the Starry Sky. And everything, all my writing, is available for free on Wattpad. And as a reminder, as the cold weather sets in, you guys are probably on your phones a lot scrolling. Head on over to TikTok, follow me, watch my reels. I post a new silly, not to be taken seriously videos about being a writer on there every single day. Give them a watch, laugh along with me, please, for the love of God, please tell me I'm funny.
Red flags.
Meg, your turn, take it away.
Sorry guys, I'm still drinking. That is lemon tea for anyone who cares. And look, I used my Starbucks points for this mug. That is the most basic thing I could have said.
I'm going Christmas style because then we have 3 episodes before Christmas and you guys are getting all my Christmas mugs, so enjoy.
I have 1 Christmas mug and I'm using it next week for a 2-hour Die Hard So You Want to Hang Out.
Craig just like called me out. Tell me I'm funny.
Yeah.
It's my quote of the year. Tell me I'm funny. Pat my head and tell me I'm funny. Okay, go Meg.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm the Meg half of our crew here. As I said, I'm still kind of sick. I kind of feel like I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So if my fear is I get bronchitis really bad every year, and that's what I've been battling. So my fear is if I talk too much, I'm gonna start coughing. Please still love me. Tell her she's funny and just love me. I sound like a seal.
This year.
It's bad. Okay, guys. So, anyway, I'm the author of The Miranda Rights, Birds and Bullets, The Ostler's Boy, and as Elle dropped, a hint of The Holiday Affair.
Read it. Gosh.
What?
I'm saying read it because I just finished it and I still am not over that very last sentence. It's just so perfect and everyone needs to read it. I'm not giving it away. All I can say is it's perfect. So read it, please.
I'm actually a surprise because I wrote this kind of just as like a dark Hallmark, like a whatever. I'll just do this.
Hallmark.
And it's actually jumped and reads like really fast, and I owe a lot of that to like the Waddies and being shortlisted for the Ostler's Boy, because I noticed that a lot of people who are reading the Ostler's Boy are hopping onto my other books, so thank you so much. If you are watching this, I really appreciate your continued support. It's hilarious when the people jump from the Ostler's Boy to the Holiday Affair because those are both kind of like happy but dark. I did have someone jump immediately into the Miranda Rights, and that's not a fun time. So sorry if you're watching. Anyway, speaking of the Miranda Rights, for my rightlings out there, I just printed off Protect and Serve, which means that I am in the final editing stage. I'm going to read this through. Kind of crazy. I read it out loud to myself. Not like Smeagol or like...
Yeah, she reads to me too.
Yeah. So this is the last step of the process. I go through, I see, what needs to be cut, what needs to be changed or whatever. And then usually I release it within like a week. Of course, I have a set deadline, which is January 1st of 2022. But I've dropped the copy to my translator who's going to go through and check my German and kind of, tweak some of the things, which if you've read Night Shift, is a big part of the book. So we're almost there, guys. We've got days, less than a month before you'll be able to read that. So yeah, that's the end of my spiel.
In Morgan Freeman voice. I wish that she read to me in a Morgan Freeman voice, but that might
Nobody wishes that. I'm so bad at accents. I can do bad Christopher Walken.
I have to tell you, whenever I'm writing Calorlan, I always try and read it in an Irish accent, but I'm not very good, and it always comes out like Scottish, and then this weird mix of like Newfoundland style talking, and I'm like, this isn't working.
I get that though, because so when I was writing Hal Parker for The Holiday Affair, everything I wrote of him I read in like a British, accent. And The Ostler's Boy is like a no one is gonna hear my Christopher Walken chat. Okay, no one's.
I absolutely miss whenever you read me The Ostler's Boy. She would read me The Ostler's Boy, and she would have this like accent that she had kind of like made up for.
Well, because Aurea is not a real place.
I loved that accent, and I miss it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Craig says there's a website that you can type words into and it will read in a celebrity voice you choose. Please drop that link to me. I need it.
Yeah. I'd like someone to tell me I'm pretty. It's very specific celebrity.
Morgan Freeman or...
I mean, I wouldn't say no if he said it because I feel like if he said I'm pretty, I would actually enjoy it because he's got such a nice voice. But I'm not like, there's other celebrities that I'm into.
I have to say, because he's in chat here, my friend Bob does a really good Morgan Freeman voice. And
in chat?
Yeah, and he always says, all the penguins died. And that's all I can think of now.
Canada had celebrities.
The poor penguins. Good God, guys, we're on track. I swear to God, we're talking about.
Okay, can I just point out something here? Because Craig is such a troll. I love you, Craig, but you're such a troll. He says, I didn't think that Canada had celebrities. Yeah, where is Bob? Like, Bob is in here. Where is he? Who is he?
Isn't Ryan Reynolds Canadian too?
Ryan Reynolds is Canadian. Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, Jim Carrey.
You got some heavy hits. Isn't
Bob's a legend? Oh, let's not go that far. Okay, today we're going to talk about contemporary drama.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys. I swear to God.
Meg, tell them about
Before we get started, we've got a Discord. Craig, I know what you're going to say. You going to have a Discord? But yes, we do. The link is in my bio. It is a permalink. So if you feel that this is the community for you, you can just click it and join. It's that easy. We do ask that you be 18 plus though, because the chat does get a little weird sometimes. Anyway, we also got a YouTube. We got merch coming. Yeah.
Craig's like, don't disrespect Bob that way. Bob is the VIP in the Discord. Okay, if you
Listen,
Bob is on our Discord, then I don't know.
What I'm feeling right now is that Bob and Craig are going to be the like buddy cop movie we didn't know we needed. Like the 1990s, let's do it. Yeah.
Discord is seriously a great tool among users. Thank you, whoever implication 223 is.
It's 100% like so good. There are so many Wattpad writers, especially on there, but just, you know, indie authors and people who are on Amazon, and then, you know, people who are starting out. It's like all walks of a writer's life, and they're all there. We're like 50 strong in our community. We're growing every day. It's insane. Every time I ask you, I'm like, good morning. It's like, are you sure you want to talk to 52 people? And I'm like, yes, I am certain. Then.
Yes, so, I want every single person. Pay attention to me. Okay.
Yeah.
We also got all your amazing question, guys. I'm going to hold them off to the end of the show, but feel free to drop questions in the chat as we go along about anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob and I are going to be like the two cops in Superbad. Oh my, I'm now just picturing that. And, okay. You guys actually, I'm going to say something here. I can see it. Like physically, like all of it, I can see it.
Yeah.
You can get some really great perspectives from people in a situation you may not be writing about.
Yeah. And, you know, also we have like a place on there where you can ask like trigger questions, like, hey, how do I write this? So, you know, there's just like a lot of ways that you can use it. When we were using it for NaNoWriMo, everybody had their corner that they could write their blogs. And I personally was so much more productive in having that accountability there. So
yeah,
I've actually gone to do it this time.
I noticed that you made a swan log.
Yeah.
So that's year round. So we're now all going to be able to see.
Subjected to my word count. Yeah, you absolutely
are.
And
now I can. Now I have someone. Now I can't speak English.
Sound it out.
I just do this in French now. Apparently, I can't speak English. I run like Seth Rogen. You know what? And it's funny because I feel like Bob would definitely be the other cop who was it? Bill Hader? Was it Bill Hader? Was that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But that's exactly how I pictured it in my head, that Craig was Seth Rogen and Bob was Bill Hader.
Our chat doesn't know who these people are.
We gotta stop because this goes on YouTube. Okay.
Good God.
Okay. 1 second.
Eventually it goes on YouTube.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm still a little sick.
Bless you.
Thank you. I'm just talking about how to. Oh my gosh, I can't with this chat. Okay, I'm ignoring this. I'm going to talk about how to plot a drama now. Okay, so the general plot follows the basic plot structure. So introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So for your introduction, that should have your central theme.
I said hi, Sherlock, to Sherlock, who has joined the chat.
I thought you were making fun of me.
I get why you would feel that way.
Anyway, so to give your central theme, character backstory, setting, and after introducing, oh my gosh, all of that, you should have your exciting force. So this is an incident that disrupts the status quo of the story and starts moving your plot forward.
Mm-hmm. Elle. Everybody, let's take a deep breath for Elle. She can't stop reading chat.
I know that Craig's making fun of me because I said that that's what I wanted, was for people to watch my videos and tell me I'm funny.
Craig has broken you.
Oh, okay. So the rising action will see your character moving towards the goal of the novel. So as you move up the rising action, the tension as well should rise with it. And then following the rising action is the climax. So this is, of course, the turning point of your story. So where your character is going to face the main conflict head on, and opposing whatever the antagonist is in your story. And then the following action comes right after the climax, and that's where the conflict between your protagonist and antagonist unravels, and it should create suspense for the final outcome of the novel. And often the following action and all this kind of stuff comes from outside, or I'm sorry, I read that wrong. This is not a scripted show.
It's not scripted in the sense that we write this ahead of time for like an idea of what we're gonna say, but it's, if you guys have never run a show, it's actually very difficult to like glance at your notes
and still
not read it out loud verbatim.
I'm still looking at all you guys.
Yeah. You're doing great, baby.
I took some cold medicine before we started, and now I'm having regrets.
Yeah, serious regrets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just got lipstick on my hand. Okay, sorry. The climax is often outside the control of the protagonist. So think the Titanic, for example, even though it's a period drama, I know. It's just the first one that comes to mind whenever I think about how the climax is completely outside of
the structure is.
Yeah, like you're not in control of a boat sinking, and we can debate the door situation, but you know, anyway. And then of course you finally have the resolution. So this is of course where you tie up all of your loose ends and answer any questions that need answering still.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. What is Craig saying now? I do that all the time. I'm like the Ron Burgundy, but with the teleprompter. Nice. I actually get that reference.
Okay, Captain America. Did you get that one?
I did, thank you. Even though I'm Canadian. Yeah. They need to do a Captain Canada, but it would be pretty sad, I think.
I feel like you didn't get it, though, because Captain America was frozen and he didn't watch all these movies, so they make, like, a list for him to... That's the joke, is that you need to watch a movie.
Okay, so...
Guys, we're watching Die Hard next week. She's never seen it.
I've watched the first Captain America movie, but it was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I was, like, when I went on a date with someone, so I was really not into the movie. So anyway, it's pretty straightforward because it's basically like plotting most fiction. But of course, along with knowing your plot points that you're trying to reach, there are also some other things to consider while you plot the next great drama novel. Okay, so character comes first. So compelling characters are always going to be super important. They're important in all fiction. But readers will often accept like a less rounded character in a crime novel if the plot is exciting enough. In a drama, though, the protagonist really drives the plot, so you need to spend time making sure that you know this character very well and that they are a very well-rounded character. So 2 is find your central question. So you need to explore like the crisis that you're trying to create in your novel. So pinning down what that central question is that you're trying to answer enables you to keep focused as you're writing your plot to make sure that you are actually moving towards resolving that crisis. Okay, look for the conflict. So identify what your protagonists want and need. They will be different. Then pinpoint where they clash. So where they clash are kind of like your high moments of drama. I'm sorry, I'm like dying right now. So then you need to contrast points of view.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to make sure that you're putting all the relationships in your novel kind of like under a microscope, in a way that you don't in real life. So that's the difference. You kind of have to be a little more involved.
Mm-hmm.
So no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. Like, I don't know what goes on in anyone's life. No one really knows what goes on in mine. But fiction is kind of that thing. I'm seriously like, I need to cough so bad. Fiction kind of allows readers to open those doors and see what's going on in people's lives. And in dramas, it's really important that you do that really well, very clearly, and like I said, kind of like under a microscope.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go get a drink and I'll take over for...
No, I'm good. I got this.
Okay. I'll stand.
I'm just getting lipstick all over my arm.
The greatest part of that is that the red lipstick is your like persona from your reels. So like when I look at you in this red lipstick, I'm seeing like evil Elle. So
yeah, she's a real jerk. Watch my TikToks, people. If you don't know what we're talking about, follow me on TikTok and watch them. It's the same as my Instagram, elmeredith.writes. Okay. So get emotional.
Also, chat, I am getting your questions, don't worry.
Also, in dramas, obviously, emotion is a very big part of dramas. And so if you're moved by your writing, your readers will be too. If you're not moved by your writing, it's very likely that your readers will not be. So pull at your own heartstrings as much as you can to elicit the emotions that you want to. So play the therapist. And so what this means is basically like, as you work through your first draft, ask yourself why. Why is this there? Why is this important? Why do I need this? All those why questions help you decide what actually needs to stay, what needs to go. Sometimes we put stuff in our books that are filler because we don't know what to put. And then when we go back to read it, it's like, oh, actually, no, I don't need this, or something else would be better. So always be asking the why question. And I always hate whenever they say call it play the therapist, because I'm like, that's not actually what it is. But that's a different topic, people. Anyway, raise the stakes. So any event can be dramatic if the character in question has a lot to lose. So up the ante whenever you can, throw in a time limit or consider the emotional consequences of a decision, not just like the logistical consequences. Nail your dialogue, so leave your writing desk and hit the coffee shops or sit on a park bench. Listen to conversations, hear how people interrupt each other or let their sentences trail away. This is why you should not be friends with a writer, people. We listen and we sometimes take the things that you say and we put it in our novels. I know that I do that a lot. People will say something and I'll be like, oh, I like that. I'm going to take that. So
it's funny. Because on the Holiday Affair, every single thing that you and another reader commented on for the character David were actual things that were said to me. You were like, I hate David so much. I was like, David is based off of a real person. So yeah, that's the thing. If you don't want to be in a book, don't be friends with a writer.
Yeah, don't be my friend, or don't talk to me, or even be in my orbit.
Unless it's to tell her she's funny.
Pat my head, tell me I'm funny. That's all you have to do. Okay. All right. So use metaphors. So create an atmosphere of suspense by using environmental elements to reflect the tension in your story. So that's things like, there's a difference between having your funeral set on a bright, sunny, beautiful day and on a rainy day. It's going to elicit different emotions. So use that to help with your character's feelings. So, you know, using a stormy day can definitely make your characters, oh my gosh, I should not have taken cold medicine before doing this. Using like a stormy day, people will think about like sad and dreary and depressed and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. And just remember, we as authors are always honing our craft, and the best way to learn is, of course, to write. So we always encourage you guys to write, try something new, give drama a try. You are always going to see what feels right if you actually start writing. So while all these tips are designed, of course, to help you write a drama, the best way to do it is always going to be to write. And of course, get beta readers, because beta readers are amazing for making sure that you are actually portraying what you want to portray, that the emotion that you're looking to evoke is actually there and stuff like that. Meg often uses me as her beta reader. So, yeah, anyway, I am dying here, so Meg, you can take over.
Absolutely. I'm going to catch up on chat real fast. A couple things were in here. Are you both plotters? So I will say, I'll give Elle some reprieve here. Elle is 100% a plotter. She'll mark down everything that's going to happen in her book, down to like the outfit that they wear in chapter 9. I am more of what you would call a planster. So there are 3 types of writers. There are pantsters that just kind of do it without really planning. There are plotters, and those are people like Elle, who are very, you know, structured and plan everything. And then there are the in-betweens of people who have the best intentions of plotting everything out, but then something better arrives and they jump on that ship, and then they just kind of, you know, Frankenstein it together, and somehow it works. So yeah, as my mother would call it.
Oh, you never told me, hey, Elle, I really want to write a light, fluffy romance. And then a week later, like, you know, it'd be great if we just killed this person in the middle of it. Oh, yeah, this is light and fluffy.
Are you talking about the Osler's Boy? Is this an Osler's Boy attack?
No. I have to say,
the best part
that was the funniest thing that ever happened is when you said to me, I want to write a light, fluffy romance. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then a weekend you have all these dark ideas, and I'm like, so it's a dark romance.
You were like, I'm so proud of you. You're writing a really romantic romance. And then at one point, guys, I'm like, imagine me all disheveled. And I was like, okay, but dark canon, what if? And she was like, oh my God, why would you do that? And I'm like, so yeah, because I've already done it. So yeah, that's my dark and fluffy. That's my light and fluffy, guys. Okay, so she's a plotter. I'm a planster.
Sorry, I didn't want to be like, blow my nose.
Sorry. And then somebody said it's all about characters. Yeah, as we said, dramas are very highly driven by the emotion that's going on in the overall story. They're more, I mean, there's plot driven and there's character driven, but you know, a lot of dramas work really well when they're character driven because of the drama, you know, so yeah. Craig wants to know that he heard your snot ASMR. I hope he makes an audio clip of that. Just kidding. There's a complete silence. Too far. Sorry.
I'm like trying to be all polite and like go over there, and it's like, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, ew. So, all right, let's talk about the question that is constantly burning in people's minds when they go to sit down and they're like, am I writing a drama or a romance? What is the difference? I'll tell you. So yeah, there is often a lot of confusion between writing a romance and a drama. And it's not really surprising because a lot of times this is the genre that is crossed with romance more often than not, at least in my like experience as a reader. Of course, yeah, I'm reading things with romance in them on purpose. But okay, for example, you can have a lighthearted romance that's like 10 Things I Hate About You, where it ends happy and everyone is happy and it's funny and la la la. The two main love interests get their happily ever after. Or you can venture into the romantic dramas like The Time Traveler's Wife, where, spoiler alert, death separates them. So yeah, you know, you just kind of have to think about where does my book belong, and it can be kind of hard. So the main difference there is that there is a guaranteed happily ever after with the romance genre. And then the first thing that kind of like separates romance and a drama, right? Or the first things are romance novels are known for their love stories that usually contain, you know, the two individuals who fall in love, surprise, surprise. And then throughout the story, they face the trial and errors of making their relationship work. It leads to sometimes funny, sometimes embarrassing, sometimes frustrating situations. There's often low points in the story, as well as high points, you know, the low points where the two characters believe that, oh God, the love is over, and they can't you know, recover this relationship, they can't do it, whatever. But it always bounces right back to the happy ending. So just keep in mind that happy ending is what romance readers want, and that's, you know, specific to the genre. So if you're writing a really sad, you know, low romance or whatever romantic novel, but it doesn't have a happy ending, it doesn't have that happily ever after, you're probably writing a drama. Which is okay. You can have, you know, your bittersweet endings. You can have your, you know, happy-ish endings. You can have your sad endings, or your, you know, in between where it's not really defined if it's happy or not endings. But that marks you as a drama writer. So yeah, drama novels differ mostly in the fact that you're not bound to that happily ever after. And yeah, a lot of the endings that you're going to see are going to be bittersweet, like the example I used, the time traveler's wife. I can speak.
A beautiful YouTube upload.
Yeah, so dramas can be romantic. Turn the page, just ask this question. Drama can't be romance. So dramas can be romantic, and romances can be dramatic.
Yeah,
but if you are
a romance
yes,
drama.
there are romance dramas.
Yeah.
But it's that ending. It's that guarantee of the happily ever after. Everybody gets, you know, against the odds, they end up together. That's a romance. The drama is not bound to that. The drama can, you know,
you can kill your main character.
Do what it wants. Yeah. So yeah, that is the difference. So yeah, and drama novels also work on more than just the relationships. Not saying that romances are devoted to strictly, you know, character A and character B, but they do focus a little more on those two character story arcs, whereas drama novels work on other plot forces that are important to building the story. So a sinking ship, a plane crashing onto a desert island, a car breaking down or being struck overnight. The plot is really more about how to get out of these situations versus trying to, you know, get with your next partner. So, of course, dramas can have that romantic arc. There's a subgenre called romantic dramas, as we said. But in romantic dramas, you see much more of a struggle. These often have affairs and external plot forces that are keeping the lovers apart, and just a lot more bleakness than you would find in your standard romance novel. on Wattpad, we always recommend that if you're not going to do a happily ever after, to make sure that you categorize your book as a drama, because again, romance readers are very specific sort of I guess market, and they're coming for that happily ever after. So if you can't deliver that, or you're not going to deliver that, you are writing a drama, especially on a site like Wattpad, who goes through the effort of putting that in their description. You know, this is your genre. Just make sure that you're marking that, because you can kind of offend or lose some readership for not, I guess, following the rules for that. So just make sure if you are writing on something like Inket or Radish or Wattpad or whatever, since we do deal with a lot of online publications here, that you are, you know, adhering to that. Yeah, there are a lot of happily ever after fans, and I think that's because reading is, you know, like a really big escapism thing, you know. Not only that, but you know, you read fiction because you want to connect with these characters or whatever, but you want it to end, for me, you want it to end happy because it just makes you feel good, you know? Like, I'm not gonna I read happily ever after things, and I write happily ever after things. Which is like the number one thing that my readers don't believe me, especially with the Miranda writes and the Ostrich Boys. Surprisingly enough, nobody thought that was going to end happy, but everything I write ends happy because that's who I am as a reader. So, you know, just in conclusion, be happy if you're going to be in romance. If you're not, go the drama route, just to play it safe. So yeah, overall, it's thinking about what your story is about, what story you're trying to tell, you know, what's the underlying message. Is it mostly about a relationship and these two people, or is it about non-romantic events? Are you sending something more political or whatever? And it can be difficult because a lot of stories fall under romantic drama, and most sites that you publish on don't offer that as a specific option, and you really want to say, hey, there's a romantic art in this. But yeah, as we said, our recommendation is to make sure that you rely a little more on your blurb. So you're telling readers who are, you know, looking for romance heavy books, like, hey, this is here, but if you're not okay with a upsetting ending, don't get invested in these characters. But yeah, it does contain the romance that you're looking for.
All right. I'm gonna get back
to that. Like Smurf, I feel like Wattpad does have the drama.
I don't think they have romance.
They just don't have drama romance.
Yeah. Just getting to the chat here really quick. To start off with, turn pages. Thank you for the follow. I do see that. I will return the favor as soon as I am off this live. I appreciate every follow that I get, and I do try to follow back.
Turn is awesome.
So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a few questions kind of roll in while you were talking. So
ranting. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I try to quietly write them down. So the first one is, what is your favorite romance? I'm just gonna pull a couple books here.
Okay, so my favorite romance is probably Emma by Jane Austen. I know I'm a Jane Austen fan, guys. I love anything period, Regency, what have you. I like Pride and Prejudice. I read that every year. And I'm missing one that's what one am I not mentioning that I'm like obsessed with? I don't know.
Pat,
I'll think of it later.
Pat Ewick, who, by the way, we had on the show for horror, which you can check out on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Amazing. She said, I'm just going to go ahead and say, don't get attached to any of my characters. Why does that not surprise me? Okay, my favorite are, like, I love Emma and Pride and Prejudice and all those ones as well. I'm obviously a huge Outlander fan, you guys, okay? It is like my dream for just
that is a drama. That is not a romance.
I know, but it's got a romance arc, okay, you guys?
That is a drama. That is not a romance. That's like saying my favorite romance is The Great Gatsby.
Okay. Anyway, the point is that this book is like what you would be like kind of, it's a bunch of different genres. Romance is one of its genres. Obviously, I like the love story in this. And it's my dream to go through the standing stones and have Jamie Fraser come for me, okay? Okay?
That is a low bar.
And then also this
Craig said his favorite romance is John Wick.
Okay, buddy. I don't know who John Wick is.
Me too. It's Keanu Reeves, that's all you need to know.
Okay, yeah, that tells me a lot about that. Okay, anyway, this is not necessarily the book, but the author, Christina Lauren, is one of my favorite romance authors, author. It's actually two women who write these, but anyway, really good. That's my answer. Drama doesn't have to have a happily ever after, right? No, it is not bound to the happily ever after.
You can be whatever you want.
Whatever you want. You can end it happily, you can end it really sad, you can end it however you feel like ending it. Mm-hmm. And then the other question is, what about situational dramas about life experiences? Wasn't 100% sure what it was in reference to, but
I mean, I think it would still fall into the drama category unless. So, if you watched our romance 2.0 that we just posted, and if not, I'm posting it to YouTube. I'm sorry, I've been so sick.
No, it's that one's on YouTube. That one's there.
The thing that makes romance successful as a genre for writers is that it follows a pretty standard structure. You have the beginning, and then you have, you know, this and this, then you have a midpoint crisis, and then you have this and this, and you have what's called the black moment, and you have this and this, and then you have your happily ever after. So you can watch it for the full 11 step, how to write this, how to plot this. It's not rigid in the sense that, oh, you have to do it at this page and at this word count. It's really more of a guideline. But those are things that your readers expect and are going to want, whether or not they know there's a structure going. They've been programmed after watching, you know, years of television and reading, you know, all their lives, that there are certain things that should be expected for a romance story arc, and one of those is the happily ever after. So because there is that consistency, and again, you're the writer, you're the architect, you can be as creative as you want and define those steps the way that fits for your writing style. It does not have to be rigid, run-of-the-mill, you know, I could mass produce this under 100 pseudonyms and it would be the same story but a different, you know, book, whatever. You can still be very creative and unique with that. But there are things people are looking for, and one of those is the happily ever after. So that is what makes it different from the drama, is that a drama is not bound to that promise. So if I go into Outlander, this is why I've not read it, knowing that it is a drama, I'm not promised that those two are going to end up together, and I refuse to get invested in a romance that I want the two to end up together if they're not going to. And that is, folks, because I am a 100% textbook Pisces. I'm too romantic. So, end of
okay, there's a couple of but romances might be brainwashing us to have expectations of love. Absolutely they do. You guys, relationships take work. It takes two people who wake up every day looking at the person next to them and saying, I want to be with you. And so I'm going to work at it every single day. That is a relationship. Romances definitely downplay that is what a relationship is. And we literally end while the couple is still in the honeymoon period. So, yeah, a little unrealistic. But I'm also a
Or, let me give you this you know, thing here, you know, this side of it. And maybe we're not brainwashing into having unrealistic expectations of love. You know, it depends on really what author you're reading, first off, because a lot of authors, myself included, will write things to be as real as possible, you know, especially through dialogue and, you know, things that happen or whatever. I don't know what the rant was. The rant was something to do with, you know.
Well, my thing is more like happily ever after. Like, there is a happily ever after in relationships, but you have to remember that once that happily ever after ends, life begins. And that's often where couples actually struggle, is when that happily ever after ends. And that's why romances end at like this point. Because
They
you start doing like
jump back
all the
7
stuff,
years
you start
later.
having kids and you're having disagreements because you have differing ideas on what your kid needs, and like that's not romantic to read anymore. Like it's the end of like not to say it's the end of romance, because you can definitely have romance in long-term relationships. There's nothing saying that you can't, but it's not the same.
Because, and let me just throw this out here, okay? I said my favorite romance is Emma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you meet your Mr. Knightley after years of being with, you know, Wickhams from Pride and Prejudice, okay, or whatever, they stand out so much more. So is it really unrealistic expectations? Or, you know, are we being taught to know what we like?
Degree and sat in on many marriage counseling sessions.
Are we being taught to know what we like?
I think that it's just, you know, I'm a believer of like, you have to want, like, after the happily ever after is over, after you two have decided that yes, I want to be with this person, you have to remember that life takes work, and we miss that part when we write romances. Which is why, like, I'm not saying that romances are unrealistic, because in, like, the sense that, like...
But you only have 75,000 words, give or take.
Yeah.
Make it as real as possible.
To write the rest of their life from like, the day they got together till the day they die. And there's a lot of hard things in there that you're going to go through as a couple. And, like, that's the part where you kind of really get to know the person that you're with in a way you don't get to know them in the early stages of a relationship, which is what you're writing in a romance, is those very early stages.
In your, you know, presenting your best self.
Yeah, exactly. When all the about that person are there, and that's why romances end there, because no one wants to read the other side of that. I don't.
Okay, next question.
Divorce is like 50%. Let's not.
Drama. Number one. We got this question a bit. Will you write a drama? I will not, probably, unless, I don't know. Is the Edwardian one that I just started, is that a drama? That's really a romance.
It would be
because it'll be happy.
It would be a romance drama, but it's gonna. I know how it ends. So it's gonna have a happy ending. It's hard.
Spoiler alert to anybody watching this who's following the books I'm dropping. I'm working on an Edwardian piece.
She's got a lot of books going on, you guys.
Easter egg. Yeah. Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna write dramas. I like to write romance. I like to happily ever after. Yeah.
Craig's new idea is write a romance, but it's after the happily ever after, and you only describe the big.
So the Ostler's boy.
But that's the relationship. Yeah. Will I write a drama? Maybe. I might write a drama one day. I like to sometimes try new things. But
Elle's favorite part of writing romances is the black moment where everything goes to shit. So 100% she will probably write a drama and trick me into reading it.
Okay, but can I just say that I also said that why I like it is because after there is this moment of complete honesty between two people, and it's that honesty that I really like, because it's something that we don't do in real life. We're never that brutally honest with someone. And
I'm brutally honest all the time, Elle.
Yeah, with me, but we're not romantic. We're partners, but we're not partners.
We could be. What are you doing later?
You know what? I'm free. Let's give it a go.
So you want to have to cancel because our relationship didn't last. Okay, good God.
Okay, but as for will I write drama, yes, I will say Meg is right. I do like really gut-wrenchingly hurting my readers, and so if I wrote a drama, it would probably be very dark.
You did write a drama once, and it was extremely dark.
Oh yeah, I killed everybody. Very
You killed everyone.
That's right. And
Everyone died.
oh my gosh.
George R. Martin.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
we
did.
should move on to the next question.
That's called a red flag.
You chose me.
So, okay, how do I get the emotion I want out of my readers? Like Elle said, and like we say all the time, guys, if you're not feeling it, your readers aren't going to feel it. So just make sure that you're sitting down and, you know, when you're writing a scene, one, why does this scene have to happen? What does it do to serve the plot? Two, how does it affect my characters, especially your main character? And think of everything that happens in your book as a ripple. It's going to affect not just your main character, but, you know, their friends and their families and, you know, their goals and their perceptions and whatever. So make sure that it has that sort of echo there. And, you know, if it's upsetting to you, it's going to upset those people. Those poor readers. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's, I mean, it's so funny. Meg, was it today or yesterday that you said to me that I'm very brutal with my Black moments? And I didn't really realize it because I try to break up my characters in a way that I feel like would hurt me the most. And yeah, whenever I thought about that, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that is kind of brutal. Because then I started thinking through all the Black moments that I've told you about, and I'm always like, and get this Black moment. And you're always like, wow.
yeah, it was yesterday because you said you hadn't finished one of the chapters that I posted or whatever because you didn't want such and such to happen, and I was like, you didn't write it, you monster.
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought I was scared to read the Holiday Affair. I just didn't want to read them breaking up because I was just so in love with them. And she's like, you didn't write it. Oh yay.
Yeah, like it was nothing like Clorglen, your Irish romance.
And again.
No. Let's rewind on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got all the views on YouTube. We're gonna make me rewind.
Okay, what are the differences between period, historical, and contemporary dramas? So, you know, period, historical, and contemporary. Contemporary is modern. Historical is based on a historic event. So, you know, the Titanic. They're thinking of that, or war, or whatever, like something that actually happened. Yeah, and then a period is based on time. So, Regency, medieval, you know, Victorian, what other words do I know? Edwardian, there you go. Yeah.
There's a question here. Question: have you ever experienced a great romance and bad breakup, and has it made it into your writing? No, none of my romances and breakups. Well, I don't know, maybe pieces of them have. Like, I've definitely used things that people have said to me in romances and stuff before. But like my worst breakup was when I was left in a foreign country, and I've never.
I like how you're like, that was so bad.
I always tell people it wasn't bad because I don't want people to be like, oh God, like you poor thing.
Yeah, but you were left in Europe. That was bad.
It was England. At least I spoke English.
Okay, but most of the world speaks. The point is, that's
the point is that I've never done that. Okay, and that was my worst breakup.
Also, Clorglen. So yeah, I'm gonna say that did make it into your writing. It doesn't matter. Character leaves someone else in another country.
But she left him, and he was at his family's house. That's different.
I'm answering for you. Yes, she has, and yes, it has. She doesn't know. Ask me. I'm the one who knows.
Anyways.
Also, I've already said that David from The Holiday Affair is based off of a real person, so yeah. You know, I do draw from life sometimes.
I will say that For the Love of Art definitely has lines from people that I've like had interactions with and stuff like that. So
which one?
Definitely. We can talk about it later. I'll text you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely
Princess trauma with sparkly.
Okay, you know what? Let's put this all on the table. Yes, it was very traumatic when it happened. I have never cried so hard in my life, but I made lemonade out of lemons, you guys. I stayed and I loved traveling around England. I met friends. I had a great time. So it's all good.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Okay, let's do the next one. Do you read drama?
I don't.
Yes, I do. I do read drama.
No, but, well, okay. Maybe. I read fantasy. That's usually what I venture out of my comfort zone of romance. So if you look at my bookshelves here, I have a ton of romances, and then I have some dark romances. But like up here, okay, so I have Fight Club.
We can't see up there. You need to move your camera.
I'm not gonna move my camera. I'm pointing. Okay.
We can't even see your hand pointing.
Up here, I have Fight Club, which is a drama, I would say. It's kind of like a psycho thriller.
Yeah.
I have James Bond behind my shallow book over here. The series, the Ian Fleming ones, I mean, that is really more of a thriller. But, guys, I really have different actions. I have different genres here. And then I have a few werewolves and vampire books up here, some princess books, basically fantasy, obviously, The Six of Crows, and then like period pieces and stuff. So I guess, yeah, I do read drama, but I prefer, hi Katrina, I prefer romance.
Yeah, I definitely do.
And Lord of the Rings. That's
right. I've got my one of my sets of Lord of the Rings. We won't talk about how many I actually have.
This is like a Catcher in the Rye for you.
I love Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh. Yes, love Lord of the Rings. Talk Lord of the Rings people.
That would be like a fantasy drama, but it does end happy.
It does. Yeah, totally it does. But I mostly read period dramas and like historical dramas. So like I've got a lot, you know, like The Help, you know, I read a lot of Lawrence Hill, who actually I'm now realizing, I'm like, do people know who Lawrence Hill? He's a Canadian author, but he wrote the book in Negroes, if anyone is wondering who he is. That's his most famous book that he wrote. I also really like Dan Brown, although he's probably more thriller than drama, I guess. But, you know, I really love his work. I've read all his books. Obviously Outlander.
And Stephen King, I have those too.
I've never read a Stephen King
horror.
Never.
Okay, we can still be friends.
Okay. Well, we kind of have to be. There's a contract that we signed. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so I do read drama. If I'm not reading romance, I probably am reading some kind of period drama. So.
See you later. Bye. Thank you for coming, Basil. I have Frankenstein and Dracula up there. Are those?
Oh, actually, I've read
those. Are horror. They're kind of drama. Frankenstein is kind of a drama. It's really less about the monster, and the people are the monsters.
Yeah. It's a really good book, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. So, any other questions before we wrap this up? We are at the hour. I just want to throw that out for anyone. I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, hey, we have a Discord, guys. Seriously, join it. I love seeing the new names pop in on there. We have an introduction page. You get your own little corner there. We help you. You can ask questions. There's somebody on in pretty much every time zone at any time. We just
this has been insane. insane this week. Like, oh my gosh, it's been amazing. Like, every time I go on there, I've got someone to sprint with, and it's been so fantastic.
Yeah. And the only, if for anyone who's listening who doesn't know what a sprint is, or maybe you've heard of it and you're not quite sure, sprinting is when you have a time set and you say, okay, so for the next 15 minutes, I'm just going to puke out as many words as I can to get that word count. And then you worry about editing later. So, you know, we do 15, 30, 60, 120-minute sprints. We are going to have some sprinting events that are coming up this season, especially, you know, month of December and January there.
I think we should actually announce the first one here because it's a couple weeks out. On December 22nd, you guys, we are going to be hosting a 24-hour sprint. So it's going to be basically, you know, who writes the most words?
Day of writing.
Yeah, who writes the most words, who runs the most sprints, who edits the most. We're going to just have a really fun day of it. We're all going to hang out. I took a day off work, you guys, to hang out with you and write. So I am very excited. I never get to take time off work.
Yeah, I think I'm off that day anyway.
You are, yeah. We planned it around a time when we could both be off work.
So we're both going to be there all day. You can hit us up on Discord if you want to talk to us directly, have any questions, whatever. We're there. But as I said, you know, we have somebody in pretty much every time zone, or at least one that's going to overlap with yours. So if you're one of our late night watchers, thank you so much. We see you. We appreciate you. Come hang out with us. We have people who would love to meet you, talk about your books, beta read, trade tips, share aesthetics, whatever. So
yeah, totally. All right, well, I'm going to shut this down because it's at the hour. I'm dying. I keep, like, trying to stop myself from coughing horrifically all over the place, so I feel like I should just say, okay, enough, guys.
I want to announce real fast next week, as we mentioned, is our holiday party that we're so
better for it.
Yeah, it's on Sunday again. So not Saturday. This was our only Saturday show that we're doing. So Sunday, December 19th, we are having our holiday party. We're still workshopping the name, but it's, you know, so you want to die hard, ugly Christmas sweater nonsense. Okay. The point is show up, wear your sweaters, use the hashtag that we're going to drop. We'll shout you out on both our stories, share your work, whatever you want. You know, within reason, okay? We're going to have some familiar faces that you see from earlier year's show on here. It's just going to be a good time. 2 hours of just hanging out with us. As I said earlier, Elle's going to watch Die Hard. So, you know, that's...
We're not watching it during, though.
No, but you're going to have knowledge of it. And it's going to be a thing. We can't watch it live because of copyright.
Do I need to watch it?
And for anyone, I really, just one last thing I want to leave you on. This blanket that Elle got me is the greatest blanket ever, but...
You guys all heard it here. For the past however long we've had this show running, she has made fun of me about this blanket. And I just want after saying, look at your face. That's a great face of you.
Yeah. That was from our first show. We got flagged. I posted a reel of this. As soon as I got it, we got flagged for copyright because of Elle's beautiful face here, because she apparently looks like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. So I don't want to play with the copyright gods and watch Die Hard on live, is the point. It's a cozy blanket. Can you breathe? I was like, what got flagged? And it said I didn't own Home Alone, so I couldn't post it. Once again, just so you can see my grown adult woman friend look too much like a little blonde boy.
I can't breathe. all of our guests who were so kind to share their time with us earlier this year are going to give us time again to come back and talk to you all. And as well, we have some fun events kind of planned during the 2 hours. So we are just so stoked. We will definitely be dropping a section for you guys to be able to ask us any questions you want for that 2 hours. And we will squeeze in as many questions as we can, but because of all the guests that we're having on, we might not be able to get to all of your questions, but we'll do our best to answer as many as we can. So yeah, like she said, break out your ugly Christmas sweaters. I will be wearing mine. I'm so excited.
Wearing mine too.
I always love a good excuse to wear my ugly Christmas sweater. And you can join us on Sunday, December 19th, same time, same place. We want to see you there.
Bye.
Bye.